All right, good morning. Good morning. Name of the game today is who can hold out longer, US or China, as we continue to go back and forth with reciprocal tariffs between the two. We've had some pretty volatile markets, and today is going to be no different, especially as this trade war between us and China continues. As we have stated, actually, I think we implemented at midnight last night, I think, an additional or up to 104% tariffs on China after their retaliation of 34% after our reciprocal tariffs went into effect last week. Now they've just overnight or this morning come back with another 84% reciprocal, I guess, or retaliatory tariffs. So as this tariff war continues, the volatility in the market is very extreme, very extreme. We are up there. Market last night. Let's take a look here. We opened last night. We continued to fall a little bit. A little bit of back and forth. This actually isn't too bad here as far as price. We started to gain a little bit, and then I think somewhere around here is when we got the announcement from China that they were going to tack on even more uh, tariffs because of our retaliatory tariffs, and market began to fall again. We are getting a little bit of a rally here. Not quite sure why, but you can see here we started to rally. And as we are getting closer to New York session open, we are starting to get a little bit more volatility. As you can see, the change in the candlesticks here from our nice, small, even uh, candles here to now large wicks, larger candles. So the volatility is starting to come in before New York session opens here. It'll be interesting to see once the New York session opens, what kind of volatility we're going to get and what direction. So that is what we have going on so far. I don't think there's any particular news other than tariff, tariff, tariff. Let me just scroll through some of the things here. We do have for news or data today. It's not data, but the particular moment today, 2 o'clock this afternoon. The FOMC minutes, meeting minutes is released. We often get some volatility or some type of movement once that comes out. These next few months obviously will be very important to see what was discussed in these FOMC minutes or in these meetings, as now the market is starting to call for an emergency cut. Okay, they are starting to possibly price in the possibility of an emergency cut being done by the Fed. Okay, that's just speculation, but that is something that the news and gurus out there are starting to talk about as this tariff war continues to escalate, at least between us and China anyway. I know there's been a lot of talk with some of the other countries, and some of the other countries are saying that they're not going to follow suit with UK and China, and they're coming to the table to talk. But China being, I think, what, the first or second largest consumer network in the world, um, and then us being right there with them, our trade war here between the two of us really affects the entire world. So they were also talking about devaluing the yuan, the currency, and if they do that, it will automatically add whatever you want to call it, an additional tax or tariff on every other country out there as well. Uh, because it will cost more to purchase the products from there. So a lot of things going on, craziness, uncertainty, you know. We haven't changed anything yet. Market is still moving wildly, so be careful. Be careful. I did do a little bit of trading pre-market here. Took a little scalp trade right here, actually, right before I came on. We had this nice move up here, and I saw that we were starting to consolidate in this area here. Took a nice little trade. Um, right off of this level actually was my entry. It was really nice, and we pushed up here and I closed really quick off of this candle here. Really nice quick little scalp trade. I feel like those are the safest trades right now. Anything you try to stay in longer, you're putting yourself at more risk, because this particular market can change direction on a dime and you get these wicked movements, um, like over here, and you don't want to get stuck in one of those. Even if you have a stop loss set with a movement this fast, especially something like this, your order isn't going to fill at your stop loss, and it will more than likely fill beyond your stop loss, and it will hit your account. So in this market here, it feels like a scalping type market to be safer. Grab a little bit of something and get out before the direction changes. Or if you're a swing trader, if you got in at a decent position, hold out, hold out. But otherwise, any type of elongated trade intraday, um, you're putting yourself at risk. I think we're changing directions, and our movements in the other opposite direction are significant here. So that's uh that's my opinion. We got about 3 minutes here. I just want to catch you guys up. So this is still a practice account here. This was actually my original 50K account that I had failed. This was the first one, and I didn't realize what's nice is if you don't re-up the account, because I didn't do that with this one. I bought a different account because TopStep had upgraded their dashboard or whatever, and any of their accounts that you purchase through the new dashboard or whatever, they have some extra uh, things that go along with it, like free upgrade or free re-ups and things like that. So I just went to a different to their new dashboard. But anyway, my point is that if once you have this account, if you don't close it, you can use it as a practice account. It doesn't shut you out or anything like that. You can still trade in it, and it doesn't make any difference. So I just realized that a couple days ago, and so this is nice because I can trade in a 50K account, um, as a practice account instead of that 150K account, which is what they give you for the actual practice account. Your sizing obviously can you can manage your sizing and stuff still, but I like to kind of have things similar. But anyway, so I do have this account here. This is the practice account, my original 50K account that I had failed, that I'm using now as a practice account. I do have this account here. Is it this one? Yeah. This account here, which you guys can't see, but this is the account that I'm still halfway done with, that I haven't traded in yet, to finish. Maybe today. We'll see what price action brings us in about 20 seconds. And then I also purchased a second 50K account, which I haven't done anything in yet, just to have something else to trade in uh, while let's my idea is if I'm trading in my actual account and let's say I get one, I place a trade and it goes against me. Instead of continuing to trade in that account, I'll just switch over to the other account so that I'm managing my drawdown better. by switching accounts. There's a nice coupon with the new dashboard. The 50K accounts are running $40, you know? So for another $40, I have two 50K challenges now. One I'm halfway done with, one I have not started yet. But that's this way I can utilize them both to manage my losses and wins a little bit better. Um, and then also, you pass both of those accounts, then you have a backup account, right? And or you can copy trade, lots of possibilities. So while the coupon was still here, I decided to just pop another 50K account in just so that I have it and I can trade both of those accounts and still have the practice account to get my reps in while I'm trying to avoid the crazy markets here with my challenge accounts. So New York session is open. Let's see where we go. For me, I think right now, because we are in this upper end of our daily range, I'd like to see price pop up to today's high here, and then we can kind of make decisions based off of what price does up here. If it continues through, then we'll see, how strong we're looking to continue up. If we get a bounce or a reach above and then back below, this would be a really, really nice place to take a short. So we'll see where price brings us. It looks like we might be reaching for today's high. Um, I do have everything marked out here so you can see how much downside we have. If we reach up to today's high and we get rejected again, as we did back here, this will give us a really nice opportunity for a short. So that's the plan so far. If we do push through here, however, we do have a lot of room to the upside also to either our bear market line here or previous day high. So we got room on both sides. Kind of a very 50-50-ish moment, but we'll see what kind of enthusiasm we get today. I read this morning Apple's shares were starting to trade higher on, again, a rumor that they may possibly be getting some relief from tariffs. Again, it's just a rumor. I don't think anything has been confirmed with that, but buy the rumor, sell the news. That's just where we are today. Okay. A little headline here just popped up. Traders now see June, not May, as the likely start for the Fed rate cuts. Yeah, as long as something doesn't break before then and we do get an emergency over the weekend type cut, which we got last time. Right. So we're going to let this play out here. Take a look at some of the news flowing through. I really enjoy TopStep's platform here. Let me just show you guys so that you can see. Hopefully this pops up right. Nope. There we go. So this is the here's your chart. You click over here to Trader Hub, and this is what they give you. You get all of the economic events for the day, right, throughout the entire world. And then you get market news that just pops up live. And what's really nice with these two, especially when we get economic data, is it gives you links to either the videos or to the data directly. So you can get all of your information that you need right inside their platform here. This is really, really nice. Really nice. I love it. Sometimes I just have this up next to me here so I can just see the headlines as they're coming through. It's really, really quick. It's on point, and even the data that comes through is quick. Um, really nice. I am really enjoying Top Steps platform here, Top Step X. It's really nice. You also get your performance stats here. Okay, beautiful. This is the practice account. Really nice here, right? Everything looks really good. You have your actual trades here. You can click over here, write a little journal entry. Really good stuff. I like this platform a lot, a lot. And just so you guys can see, I'll switch through. So this is the practice account. This is the original account that I failed. This one here is the new one that I just got this morning. And this one here is the one that I'm halfway done with. Um, just so that you guys can see the one trade that I made last week. And then this is where I've chickened out to continue trading in this account. Now, I think I'm being smart, honestly, staying out of this kind of um, trading environment here with this particular account. So, but my whole thing is full disclosure, complete openness. You guys are seeing everything right here. I don't have anything to hide, just so that you guys can, you know, continue to see what I'm doing. Right. Cool. So that's that. We may not. Yeah, we still got some more. We'll see how this ends up going here. We're bouncing off of here. Can see some liquidity here. So I think target wise, we're still looking for a reach up to today's high from previous session. Um, if we get there, and then we can look to possibly take some shorts off of that, depending on where we're looking. I am, I think, in the mindset of shorts are the safer play right now with the way things stand, um, which is, I think, hard to say because the market is so ready to rally. It's so ready to rally. I mean, one little if President Trump came out and said, "We're going to pause tariffs for 90 days," this market would skyrocket. So it's really hard to kind of like, you know, which way do we want to pick as a bias, which is kind of also the reason why I'm kind of switching my strategy over to a more dynamic strategy. Whereas like I'm not picking a bias at the beginning of the day. I'm just trading off of what the market is doing in the moment. Because when you enter markets like this, where volatility is insane and you really don't know which way the market wants to go, the market doesn't know which way it wants to go, you have to be a little bit more fluid. Here we go. Let's reach. So I'm starting to pick up on things like this here, where you can start to see some liquidity here where we're building a little shelf. And then within this liquidity here, you get a push down, which is almost like a fake out. And then we immediately push rocket right out of this zone here. I see this a lot, and I'm starting to pick up on it a lot. You can actually see it here too. We have this liquidity zone here, right? Where you're holding, holding, and then you get this push and close into the liquidity zone. And then immediately following is when we push out. I start to see this a lot, and I'm taking trades off of these, and they are working out pretty well. Right. So let's see what price action does here. Then we can try to formulate a plan based off of the key level. The other thing we want to look out for too is liquidity grab up here, right? So big, strong push to the upside here. Let's make sure we don't get a immediate reversal, because then we might be looking at a liquidity grab here. So let's let this play out a little bit. Let's see what we do. If this holds, we'll look for a retest, and then we can possibly think about taking longs here. Otherwise, if we push back below, then we can look for short entries. But we got volume coming in, building big on the way up here. Big, strong push. So this is what's nice about having the news right here is as this is happening, I can just switch over to this other the Trader Hub tab here and look for anything that's popping up that might be, you know, a reason for the our push here, right? Because if this is not based off of some kind of news or something like that, it's easier to kind of formulate a plan. I should say is or isn't, right? Depending on. So Trump just put out a Truth Social, I believe this is. It just says this is a great time to buy. This is something that see the market that we're in right now. It's something as simple as a Truth Social post, and it's going to move the market because the market is looking for any reason to go in one direction or the other. Honestly, that's where we're at right now. But I think the market is really ready to rally. But the fear of the tariffs and recession globally, not just US wise, is what's keeping those buyers from coming in right now. But they're ready. And we saw that a couple days ago with that fake news rumor. The market rallied based off of news that wasn't real. So imagine if we get something that's confirmed. Yeah. Another one here from Trump. Be cool. Everything is going to work out well. The USA will be bigger and better than ever before. Let's see if there's anything else going on here. U.S. Defense Secretary Hegseth says the U.S. will take back the canal from Chinese influence. I believe that. I believe that. That'll hurt them too. Walmart CFO, the market is nervous, uh, but company is confident in outlook. Okay. I mean, that's big coming from Walmart, considering they probably get an enormous amount of their products from China. Okay, so look at pushed up above, and we immediately came back below. So now let's see what happens in this area. Let's give it some time to, you know, um, possibly uh, bounce back and forth here, or we may continue to push up here, right? Let's see what we're doing here. We're bouncing off of previous highs, so that's okay. This is okay so far, uh, but see if we can continue up or if we grabbed what we needed up here to now push back down to the downside. German coalition government aims for medium-term free trade agreement with the US and a reduction in import tariffs on both sides of the Atlantic. I mean, some of this stuff is starting to play out. The question, I think, is how long is it going to take? Because the longer we sit in an environment like this, I don't know that it will be good. But if we can make these threats and whatnot to other countries, and they come to the table quicker, um, we can sell things quicker, then we'll be all right. The world will be better for it. Just my opinion. Okay, so we are starting to push down lower. Still an uptrend here, as you can see. So we don't want to get into the downside too early. I'd like to see some consolidation, maybe a retest. That would make me feel better about going short. Take a look at the 15 here. Really, really strong push, but we couldn't close up here. We actually came halfway back. But a lot of times this does end up filling here. We'll see. Can see we're starting to create a sideways channel here, a little range trading. Might get some consolidation over the next couple days. You can see on the day chart, we've had this nice push down. We're starting to get some support here, but we also have resistance up here. We have CPI data coming out tomorrow, PPI data coming out on Friday, so we might get some consolidation, some range trading here for the next day or two while we wait for those numbers to come out, unless something happens. Okay, here's our retest. Why price isn't moving. All right, looks like we're still trying to push higher. All right, thanks for that. S&P 500 is breaking up. Nice, nice. Looks like we do have some enthusiasm today. So the 17.5 mark, which was important past couple days, is where we're reaching right now. So let's see if we have enough to continue pushing higher. Yes, looks just about the same as the NASDAQ here. Now, let's see if we can break this 17.5 area. We do have buyers coming in. Right now, platform is majority long position. Mhm. Yeah, we still got buyers coming in here. Struggling a little bit. Volume starting to peel off a little bit also. See if we get a retest here, what that looks like. All right, testing the 17.5 again. Watch for the breakout. We keep dipping in to this area here. See if there's enough here to push this up and out. I don't know. Swiss president. I spoke to Trump and agreed to continue talks in the interest of both our nations. Looking forward to working out solutions in the very near future. You can definitely see the liquidity here, right? So the question is going to be how many buyers versus this might be it right here. This is that setup that I keep seeing. You have liquidity, you have your push and close into liquidity, and your rocket out. Let's see if this plays out that way. The 17.5 line is pretty strong, but yeah, there we go. All right. New highs on the day. There it is. That's that same setup I keep seeing. Okay. Do we have enough? Let's go. What's the S&P doing? Still moving out too? Yep. So same thing. It's following very, very closely. You have the same setup here. You got your liquidity here that you kept dipping into, creating this shelf that you can see here. You have your final push and close inside liquidity. You didn't break anything. And then the very next candle is the one that shoots you out. Same setup here. Might be something worth going back and back testing. Same setup here, right? It's even better when you're at key levels. Mm, mm, mm. So key level, liquidity, push into liquidity with a close. So you're basically retesting this key level here over and over again. And then you immediately push out, making new highs on the day. That would have been a nice trade. These happen quick. You saw how quick that happened. You gotta be ready for when you start to see something like this forming, especially in a key level. This might be a really good uh, structure to play. Yeah, I mean you have that same kind of setup here, same thing here. This piece, right? Right. Probably better off waiting for you reach in and then a bullish close following. This may not have been something to catch, right? Unless you're gonna take your trade at the close of this candle here, which would really set you up for a really nice tight stop loss. Might be something to really look into and take to back test. But again, you're in a market where you take your profits quick, quick. This looks like we're just retesting here. If this holds, so I'm not going to go long here just because I don't know how much more upside we have. We could have plenty, but we also have plenty of downside. So now we're giving back what we just took here pretty quickly, too. Might be starting to form a reversal here. We'll see. We'll let the consolidation happen. Still pretty good steep upward trend here, as you can see, but this actually, depending on where we close here, may be breaking that. Not that I trade off of that, but you could just see that, right? Just something to add to the story. So we close back below here. Let's see if we get another retest and fail. If we do, then we can maybe go short. Just waiting for, oh yeah, the majority of the platform is now short. I think everybody is very close in the mindset of, in and out, quick trades, um, and you're going to get your change in directions pretty quickly. Definitely look like we're getting some resistance here on the 15-minute chart. So we're retesting. Hmm. We might actually come back up to these highs here and retest. Let's see if we get resistance up in this area here, which is your 17.5 again, right? So let's see if that holds this time. So we're probably going to get some consolidation here for a little bit. Still an uptrend, so let's see. We'll let the consolidation work itself out. See which way we're going to go. All right, so next area is this area here where we may get a bounce and then a retest here. That might be a good place to maybe go short unless we just fall out here. In which case, nothing we can do about that. But let's see. Hey, where's my things? Thank you. Let's see how we do. We'll call it right like this. This area here. So our 15, can see we had a nice bearish candle close here. Decent sized wicks up top. Nice topping topping wick here, right? So now we might be in a position here to look for a retest and then maybe continue to the downside. And if we do take a trade, it's going to be a quickie. In and out, probably just down to the next level. At 71% are in short positions on the platform. Right around here, actually. I would prefer to get in somewhere up at our key level here if it holds. I wouldn't be surprised either if we get some consolidation for a little bit here, honestly. So I don't want to get stuck in consolidation. So I'd like to see something more definitive in the price action. So you clearly still have buyers here. See how we dipped in and we got a nice push back to the upside. Here's our retest. We have not completely rolled yet, so we still got time. You can start to see that we are looking that way, but that does not it's not confirmation yet, honestly. We can still push higher from here. S Not convincing price action here that we're gonna bounce here. Might end up moving a little higher. I might wanna see a retest, like I said, of these levels here before we complete our curve over. That'd be a little bit more confirmation. Otherwise, if we just push past here and we're breaking this wick here, that would look nice too. But this would be a better position to try to get in on a short, be able to place a better stop loss there. What do I use as confirmation? I guess it depends. Um, Price action has a lot to do with it. You can see how we're moving kind of slow here with this candle kept getting pushed back up. So if, let's say, for example, this pushed up to our key level and then the following candle um, moved, we'll say quickly engulfing this candle, that would give me more confirmation that we're getting a rejection here. Like we just kind of played around here, like man, um, it's just a price action. I don't know how to really explain it well, I guess. Um, but you can see how we kind of just dilly dallied here. It wasn't giving me any kind of indication that we were actually getting a rejection off of this key level here. So same thing up here, I guess. If we reach up here, um, and then we get a candle that gives us a very strong, you know, push to the downside, that would look more like a rejection as far as price action goes. Uh, you can also use your levels, right? If we push past this liquidity zone here, that would give you confirmation, but it's not a confirmation of an entry. It's just confirmation at that point that you could be rolling over. And then you would still have to look for some kind of pullback to get into a good place to enter. I don't know. Does that help at all? I don't know if I'm explaining it well. Okay, pretty good. All right, so you can see how we came down with this candle here and we were testing, liquidity that we grabbed here. When we start to get a stronger and quicker push through it, that looks better. But what we don't want to see is this push back up. Yeah. So there's still buyers here. Yeah. You still got buyers here that are willing to buy at at these price levels here. That's what that big push is. Yeah. So this is where I struggled a lot in the past, was seeing things like this where you're pushing past certain levels, and I would get in. Like as soon as we broke this low, I would get in and it would immediately reverse against me. I didn't understand what liquidity was at all, clearly. um so now that I can see that here, you can see with all these wicks here, right? And then you reach into this zone here, that there's liquidity here, there's buyers here. And when you get a push down, like this is why it's so important to wait for candles to close too, because this looked pretty bearish. This looked good, right? Oh yeah, with this, the initial push on this, you can see how somebody can say, oh yeah, we're pushing through now, right? And then those buyers come in the last 15 to 10 seconds and push this candle right back up. And if you bought down here, they got you, and then the very next candle moves against you, hits your stop loss, and then you're out. Those are all mistakes that I made for a long time. And now, for some reason, I don't know if it's just because I've been staring at these for so long now, it's starting to click for me. Um, but so you can see where we're in a consolidation area because we have liquidity up here. So you got sellers here, you got buyers down here. You got to wait for them to battle, and then whichever one overpowers the other one, that's when you'll get your move. But you want to wait for that to happen, right? You don't want to get stuck in this uh, consolidation area, waiting for the buyers and sellers to figure out who's got more orders than the other one. Or it's not even that, who's willing to move their orders into the buy or sell zone, right? So right now, platform is sitting at 42% long, 58% short. Like that's too close for me. And that just reiterates the fact that we have sellers and we have buyers here, and we don't know which way this is going to go. I like the fact that we wicked up here. This looks good to me. Um, I might want to see it, close maybe up here, followed by a nice strong candle down. We may not get that, but the fact that we wicked up to this line here, that's what I was kind of looking for before. And the same thing here with a decent rejection. I would have something a little bit better would have been nice. So we still have um, we still have a war happening here between buyers and sellers. So now you're getting your retest of your key level. So I mark today's highs and lows based off of previous sessions of the day, and then I don't move them because they usually typically end up being a key level for the remainder of the day in the New York session. So now for me, I would like to see a break through this liquidity zone, um, and then hopefully we can get a retest. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes once we break a liquidity zone, we just fall, and then it is what it is. You can't get into that stuff. Um, no big deal. You wait for the next opportunity. But we know that we have buyers here. So to get in somewhere down here to go short, bad idea. But it's not a great idea to go long either because you have sellers up here. So you got to wait for this battle to finish and play out. This is where patience comes in. One of the four pillars of trading success, patience. I gotta work on getting some music or something, right? I had music before, but it wasn't working out that great. It was like the same song over and over again. Yeah, pretty boring. Of every book that I've read for trading, almost every book, the trader states somewhere in there that if you're not bored while you're trading, you're not doing it right. And now I understand. Now I understand. Yeah, I agree. Let me um short does look better. If we break above here, I'm not going to take longs because once again, I don't know how much upside we have. We've already made a big move to the upside here. Um, I do agree that the short looks better. We just don't know yet for sure. But if we do push past this liquidity zone here, I would love to get a quick retest, and then yeah, we're going short, and then you can target, you can target any one of these levels here. For me, I'm gonna take quick trades during this type of market because we don't know how quickly it can turn. Um, but you can see here every time we reach, those buyers come in. So we still have lots of lots of liquidity here, lots of buyers here. Um, yeah, the buyers aren't really able to push up too far, but that doesn't mean that they can't get enough the next time they come down here to push past. So that's the thing. We just don't know, you know, we don't know which one of these is gonna give up first, right? Because that's really all it is. Whoever decides to start moving their sell orders um, lower and lower to get rid of them, that's when the buyers start coming in to push price up, and vice versa. So it's really, who's holding their orders where they are versus who's starting to nudge their order up or down to close their position. That's what's going to move the price in one direction or another. And the thing is it's people. So you can't predict what people are going to do. Um, so we just have to sit and wait. I thought coming into this 3 years ago that trading was gonna be this fast-paced thing, and you're gonna come in and, make a ton of money in 30 minutes and then, be done for the day and live this lavish lifestyle and everything. Because that's what you see on social media, right? It definitely grabbed me for sure. Um, but I'm glad that I stuck with it and hung around and then realized that, well, that's not what it is. And, um it actually kinda makes you slow down in life, and it makes you, it definitely makes you more patient, and if you don't get to that point where you can learn to be more patient, well, then that's when you're gonna fail. I do actually have books that to recommend. Actually, if you give me a couple minutes, I'll go grab them, and I'll show you guys. Uh, let's just, I just wanna see what's happening here real quick, and then I'll grab those books for you. And not all of them are trading books. There's a couple of, I guess you can all call them self-help books that actually did a lot for me, that help in trading. Trading is just you versus you, right? So it's you making yourself better every day. Uh, and if you can't do that part, if you can't work on yourself, um, then you will have a more difficult time becoming successful in trading. So this is the part here where you can't really predict, right? It's like who's gonna give up their positions first. So we may be pushing higher here. While this is happening here, let me go run and grab a couple books for you guys, and I'll show you. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm back. All right, we got books. I've read a lot of books the past couple of years. Well, a lot for me, anyway. I wasn't really a reader. Um, so let's start with this was one of the first ones that I read more for myself. You guys can see that. Yep. Leave that there. You can take a screenshot if you need to. How to be fucking awesome. This is just one of those things where it kind of helps you learn how to care less about everything around you and focus more on yourself, um, which does a lot for you emotionally, I guess. And trading is nothing but a game of emotions and controlling your emotions. This book here is like be selfish, which is something that we grow up learning not to be. Um, and in my opinion, after reading a lot of these things, it's one of the worst things to teach is to not be selfish. You should be selfish when it comes to you first, because if you put yourself first, you put yourself number one on your priority list. That helps you become your best self, which then helps you uh, care for others better, if that makes sense, right? So be selfish. That's what this book is all about, and it's almost mind boggling when you read things like this, and it's just like, oh yeah, I've always worried about other people before me in life, right? Your parents, your siblings, friends, whatever. And the more you push yourself lower on your priority list, your subconscious learns that you don't matter. So really, really good book there. Uh, the typical trading in the zone. This is something that every trader tells you to read. This is discipline and uh, trading without emotions. Period. It's just basically setting up rules and strategies, and you trade based off of that. Period. Really good book. Also, it's good, easy read. You can get through that pretty quickly. Uh, One of the biggest things to help me learn finance. This one here, Psychology of Money. Really good book as well. This helps you change the way you think about money and how to make it, save it, use it. Uh, Again, it goes against everything that you learned growing up. And it's more of like This is how rich people think and use money to make money for them. This helps you learn that a lot there. One of the best 2 books I can recommend, um, for trading specifically is this one here, Best Loser Wins. If you can learn how to be a really good loser, the winning comes afterwards. How you deal with your losses, and how you set up your losses and what you do from there, it will really set you up for uh, trading. Okay, because you're going to lose. That's the thing. In the beginning, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose money, and you're going to have a win to loss ratio that your losses far exceed your wins in the beginning, right? So if you can learn how to deal with that, use that to uh, learn how to switch your ratio, uh, then you will become successful that much quicker. This is all stuff that, like, there's no manuals for any of this stuff, but this book here was huge for me in switching my mindset, from I have to win, I have to win, I have to win, to okay, that was a loss. Why? What happened? Let me figure out what went wrong there. You know, uh, how big of a loss was it? And then eventually every loss becomes a lesson, and you start to slowly switch your ratios. But this is a really good mindset book in trading here. And then finally, this one helped me out a lot too. Atomic Habits. It's not a trading book, it's another kind of self-help thing, but this had a lot to do with teaching me how to teach myself discipline. Okay. Atomic Habits. And discipline is something really, really important in trading. So there you go. There's plenty more, but those are the ones that helped me the most. There's so many books out there. I've read a ton of trading books, and every single one of them has something a little different than the last one and this and that. But at the end of the day, they're all opinions from those traders. And yeah, it worked for them, but it may not work for you. And it's hard to say, what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you until you try it, fail or succeed or whatever. So I tend to lean more towards books that teach you the things that you need to become successful in trading, not necessarily reading trading books. If that makes sense. I have not. Um, no, read the book and then I just kept going. Anything specific there? Still consolidating. Okay. Put these over here. His book helped a lot, and that one is more of a trading book, um, but very different from most of the trading books out there, where they teach you how to be successful. His is more teaching you how to not be successful so that you can be successful. That it's a little strange, but his book was very helpful. Yeah. He's done really, really well. It was nice to read a completely different perspective on trading versus reading everybody else's, here are the popular strategies. Here's how you use them. This. That just doesn't work for, I'd say, probably most people, but everybody buys their books because they want to be a successful trader. His was a very, very different perspective. Like, so I've read um, techniques. I've read advanced techniques for a day trader, or how to, what was his book, the first one? Um, how to be a successful day trader, something like that. I have those books too, but they were, I wouldn't recommend them. I feel like some of those books just end up confusing you, because it's like, oh, well, let me try these, strategies or whatever. And it's all basic stuff, and it's not, it doesn't end up really working, you know? Those other books that help you work on yourself had more of an effect on me, for trading than the actual how-to trading books. All right, so we've come up, sellers came in, pretty strong push back to the downside here. Quick little bounce. Let's see if we can continue. Again, the weight is starting to shift towards short positions in the platform, which is not surprising. But we got to get these buyers out of here. Yeah, you can see even on the 15-minute kind of shows you a little better. It's like an order block, right? You have buyers and sellers. Which one's gonna give up first? Let's go over here. So I'm watching the time in sales in the DOM, um, and you can see the battle happening for every couple of orders that the buyers dip into. The sellers come right back and do the opposite. It's like an equal amount of red and green in the time sales, equal amount of order, equal amount of sizes being placed. So the 15-minute here, look at this shelf. Ton of liquidity up here, right? You can see that here. And we have this almost perfect shelf forming here. So we almost want one of those push up within the liquidity, close to get that push down. This is on the 15-minute chart. You can see it really, really clear here. If we push up and we start breaking our wicks up here, then we got more upside. The battle continues. It feels like lately the opportunities have been coming later on in the morning. So we're starting to get a pushback. But again, you can see that the buyers are still coming in. Okay. It's a slow push to the downside. Short positions are building even more. We're at a 72% on shorts, 17,313. Here's your average short position is right inside here right now. Let's see if we can get a good push out. None of this lazy movement. Come on. And then again, what I'll look for is a retest. That's better. We got some build and volume on the way down here. That looks good. This has to continue. This has to hold. We need a continuation a little bit. Then I would love to see a retest here. And then we can look for a short position to get in here. If this just drops, we'll let it run. Okay. Yeah. So that looks good on the 15-minute as well. We still have 6.5 minutes here. So this could, just be careful. Orders are starting to move now, but the candle's not moving. This is a nice strong move by the sellers here. Increased volume on the way down. So now we can say shorts here are pretty safe. And so we can start looking for an opportunity to jump in. So one thing I'm noticing here is this widening channel that we have. So again, you just want to, if you're going to get into it, we have plenty of room here, but it doesn't necessarily mean we come all the way down. So keep your trades, I'd say, my opinion, keep your trades short, take your profit and bounce. There you go. Hmm. So I don't really like how this candle almost completely took this entire candle previously. Not the greatest setup there for me. So I would have liked to seen a little bit more of a retest in here. I don't want to take a trade just to take a trade, you know? I got to be picky. Hmm. So the average short moved to right here is your average short. What I'm noticing is a lot of people are catching the breaks. That's what I used to do. I'd rather I'd rather price pull back up here and get a much better position to continue a move to the downside. So that 15-minute candle closed nice and strong to the downside. So we may not get a big pullback here, but we still definitely look bearish. It's not it's not good enough for me just because I'd rather have a better position. I don't want to get into a position that's so close to the low, you know? Hold off a little bit longer. The patience is real. There we go. Let's get a little pullback. Now we're undecided again, shorts versus long positions on the platform. The majority of the people got in right here. That is not where you want to be, right? Well, that's the average anyway, right? So in this general area. Yeah. Mhm. So now, if we start moving up into this area, we start leaving some wicks. We can start to see another liquidity area forming. That would be really, really nice. And then this would be a much better place to get into a short position because now you have room to at least target previous lows, right? If you get in down here, like what are you targeting? All the way back here? I'd rather be in a position where I can target recent lows. But then it also tells you whether you are going to continue that direction or not. So let's see what we do here. We had a ton of buyers in this area before, right? So the other thing to watch out for now is we know that the average short was down here. If this continues to push up, these people are going to be forced to cover, right? And then price is going to continue up. So let's see. You got to be careful here how high we go. This is nice. We're wicking into that same liquidity zone, right? So if we can do that a couple times here, or we just get a strong rejection, then that would be a better opportunity. It's got to be a decent opportunity with a stop loss too, right? Because right now your stop loss would be above this. So you got to make sure that we get a decent position here that we can at least get a 2-to-1 down to previous lows. If we get it. Otherwise, we might turn here. That's just the market. Still sitting basically at a 50-50 shorts and longs. 17,248. So your average short is right here, right now, 752. So the average short position is starting to creep up, which means people are starting to either cover or not cover, but get out of the position or we're hitting stop losses. 57. So we may end up continuing up here. I like what I'm seeing here though so far. Look, so we're starting to build a little shelf here within that same liquidity area as before, right? This was a strong zone here that kept price up. Now let's see if we can reverse that. Let's see if we have sellers sitting here now that'll keep price down. The shorts average is still moving up. It's either that or people are buying shorts here now, so that's moving the average up, right? Could be either way, I suppose. Yeah. This is your average long position right here, basically right around the close of this candle here, which I could see because we broke this wick here, but still. Yeah. We kind of ruined our shelf with this candle here, but we'll see. So what I'm not liking is each candle's closing a little higher and a little higher. I don't really like that. Mm. Most certainly not my favorite looking setup here. You got buyers coming in here. Definitely not making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside in either direction here. Mhm. Well, hey. Yeah, now we're flipping to longs. Those buyers, I tell you, they got it in them today. So I was prepared to maybe take a trade in that account that I'm halfway done with, but I don't know. So retesting key level here. Seems like buyers are still in control overall. Yeah. I mean, trading in general is hard, right? But scalping for sure. Okay, this actually, hey, hey. Starting to switch again from longs to shorts. So once we reach our key level here, volume dropped significantly. So nice strong push here. We had a nice spike in volume. And you can tell by the candles here too, right? Very little volume. Volume dropped significantly with these candles here. So we may have an opportunity here. Let's see. So on the 15-minute chart, and I don't want to switch over because I don't want to miss anything here. We are just peeking into our liquidity again where we were before. So this might actually be a good opportunity to go short. It would be a risk, obviously. See what I'm saying here? So we're just kind of peeking in. So the only issue is, for me anyways, we still have a lot of time in this 15-minute candle. So it really can go either way. We can push right out and up, or this candle can just completely reverse if we get enough resistance here and head back down. Just got to watch real close here. Buyers are trying. So far, sellers are holding. If I do take a position, it's going to be a single contract, and it's going to be a quick trade. I just need to decide whether I want to do it in the account or not. I don't want to get too antsy with trying to pass the challenge, so it's so 50-50. I'm not going to take a long position here because, quite honestly, I have no idea if we're even going to make it up to previous highs here, right? There's a ton of liquidity up here. It's not to say that it won't and then just push right past everything here, but all right, take it easy. Thank you for watching. Appreciate the conversation. Stay green. I will try to do the same. Yeah, we keep peeking up above here too. I don't like that either. Yeah. Oh, this might be the setup. We push past here, and the buyers are still coming in. It's a tough one. Hmm. Tough call here. Clearly still have buyers. All right, sellers might be starting to step in here. Last minute in our 15-minute candle here. So let's see how this candle closes. A lot can happen in 60 seconds. The sellers are doing a pretty good job of holding that candle down. Don't want to get in too early. Buyers came in force there, so all right, that looks pretty good. As long as we don't get pushed right back to the upside. Nice. So it looks like price is bouncing off of these highs back here. Short positions are starting to build. Might be getting close here. Excuse me. Where are you going? Leave that alone. Yeah, watch for the drop here. Yeah. What are you doing? Mm. No, you gotta leave that alone. Come here, you. Mm. Well, I don't know. So my problem here is volume just tanked as we came down here. Oh. Once again, we reached another 15 minutes here. So let's see how we close here. You can see that we definitely have some buyers here, this area, sellers up here. I'm wondering if we're not gonna make a big move one side or the other. The whole overall trend too, now that I'm looking at it, is still up today. So if we take a look at the 15, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? Where do we where do we come down to? We may come down to our trend line here. It's possible. It might just be in a consolidation pattern now. These buyers come in. Look at that. When they come in, they come in. Look at this. Well, I'm glad I didn't go short there then. I'm glad I waited for what I wanted and I didn't see it. This came in on volume too. Huge volume spike. Big push. Hmm. Very interesting. Oh, this is a long one. Right back up to our key level. Rejected again. Volume completely dropped off once we reached our level here again. Building a little shelf of liquidity. Hmm. Which way do we go? I might. 15-minute doesn't look great for longs, but mm, hmm. It almost looks like we're starting to. I did this like y'all can see my hand. Like we're starting to squeeze here. You see this? Mm-hmm. Question is which way do we ultimately want to go? Long live today. Long live today. Mm. Long live session. I think it's going to be a really quick recap. Waiting for the right trade. Could go either way here. Mm-mm. Might take this long here.
Order filled.
Let's try a long position here. I'm going to keep the stop loss real tight. And we are targeting. I can't go that much. Let's see what happens. Might get stopped out real quick. So single contract. Single contract to the upside. Real tight stop loss just because if this tumbles, it's going to tumble quick and I don't want to be a part of it. So ooh, so close.
Order filled.
Okay. I may not have been wrong, but I didn't want to. Just so it's 50-50, right? We're so um, tight here. You can see like we're creating this wedge that we're starting to get squeezed. So I'm thinking we still have one more for a little, yeah. It's okay. I didn't want to be a part of it if it decided to just drop. So that's all right. I'd rather be in and out than stay in something. Where did we get in? Like right here? Yeah, tight stop loss. And we were targeting, I think, right about here. Okay. That's not too bad. We're still doing well. We're still up on the account. Yeah, I don't know how much more we're gonna have of this here, and we're past 12 o'clock, and I don't like to trade after that. So we tried for one last attempt here, just looking for a quick scalp. Um, Honestly, I think it'll probably work out, but I wanted my stop loss nice and tight. I don't want to risk more than 500 in a trade. Um, right now, anyway, while I'm ahead, I want to stay ahead. So yep, that's going to be it for today. Long session today. Quick recap in a few minutes. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate that you guys were all here. I realized that we did have some extra viewers today. I apologize that nothing really panned out today. It's just one of those days where the A plus setup didn't work out for me, and I'm looking for A plus setups right now as I'm trying to pass this challenge. So, uh, sorry about that. Tomorrow's another day. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate all of my subscribers currently. And don't forget to join the free Discord. Links in the description down below. Have a great day. Stay green.